And so with that being said, everything that you see in my life and my business, all the success you see in my life now, it was not easy. It was mentally and emotionally.
Hey, if you have ever wondered how to turn all of your multi-passions and interests into a business that's profitable and aligned, you've got maybe a million different ideas, you want to know, how can I feel my feelings while still running my company like a boss, and what it really takes to turn all of those certifications and ideas you have swirling in your head into a multi-six-figure reality, then that's what we're going to do here today. And what I love about Jess, as one of my favorite former clients, even though I know we're not supposed to have favorites, and now friends, is she's one of the most sharpest, most intuitive, and yet strategic minds I've ever worked with. She's a manifesting generator, and I lovingly call her my pattern recognizing ninja, because she's the queen of inspired research. It's not just like, what are other people doing? I'm going to do that. It's like, she does it with intention and turning all of those ideas and passions into content and offers that actually convert. She's a master certified trainer in EFT, NLP, life and success coaching, time techniques, hypnosis. She's basically like this Swiss Army knife of transformation, but it's not about just collecting certifications. She really, really embodies her work and has mastered the art of feeling her emotions without being overcome by them, and really comes from this deeply embodied place with how she shows up in her business with her clients. And I see, as a 3-5, she's like the perfect example of how pivots, trial and error, learning from every different experience, how to turn all of these things into million-dollar wisdom. And so today we're diving into how Jess has built her business by design. She's going to tell us what works, what hasn't worked, how she knows when to pivot, and like the secret sauce behind her ability to create content and offers that actually work. So she's going to tell us exactly how she did it so that you can do it too. And quickly, I just want to go over a high-level overview of Jess's human design, so for some context, and then we're going to dive in. So I feel like this explains so much about how she's built her business. So she's a manifesting generator. She's got this building sacral energy, but then she's got the manifester behind it who's here to initiate and has this big, bold vision. She's not here to like put together this perfect 5-year plan. She responds in the moment, listening to her gut, her intuition. And I've seen her do this in real time so many times. She will spot something, and then before you know it, she's made a funnel, a graphic, an offer, and she just goes with it, and it works. It's amazing. And she's a 5th line, which means that she has this amazing audience. People really project themselves onto her and see her as this woman who can solve all of her problems, and she can, and has really been figuring out the things that she wants to solve and loves doing, and her inspiration, her intuition. I love seeing that. And she also has the right angle cross of the Sphinx, her incarnation cross, which means she's here to provide direction and guidance. People are naturally looking to her for what's next, where do I go, what do I do? And she's really able to guide others down that path because she went first. So my first question for you, Jess, is that I feel like people see you now as someone who is deeply embodied, clear on her purpose, very successful. But what was the path to that? Were there moments early on, maybe even from childhood, where something that felt like an obstacle actually turned out to be the thing that made you who you are today?
Yeah. Well, first off, before I answer that, I want to say thank you for everything you shared. Wow. I would love to have you on my podcast to intro all of my episodes.
Right.
So thank you. And I'm so honored to be here. And also want to acknowledge everyone here who is tuning in and listening so that they can possibly be open to receiving that dose of magic
Yes.
for their life.
Yes.
So I'm honoring everyone for listening in. And so the question was, it wasn't always the path to multi six figures. That always wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And that's very true for me. I call myself the queen of being doubted my whole life. The queen of being projected onto, which makes sense because that's my human design. And I learned that from you. A lot of people project onto me and they feel like, oh, you're out of integrity. Oh, you have a learning disability. You can't go to college. Oh, you're not going to be able to do that because you're not smart enough. And so I feel like a lot of my life was a lot of doubting and roofs over my head, a lot of boxes I was put in. So I was born and I was diagnosed when I was young with a learning disability. And so growing up, I had my subconscious mind programmed that it was hard for me to learn, to focus, to read, to listen. Like, I can't sit still. I can't listen because that's what all my teachers told me. Then that's what my parents told me because that's what they learned from the teachers. And so I grew up with that in my subconscious mind. And so that was creating my reality. And then there was a point where, you get older and you're like, wait, what if I just went against the mud, went against the grain? And so shout out to my mom, because I still remember this to this day. She literally was like, we're bringing you to a college. You're going to college. And it wasn't like, I'm forcing you to go. It was like, we're proving them wrong type of thing.
Yeah.
And so I ended up going to college and graduated with a degree who actually helps people who have learning disabilities, which is just a whole full circle. Right. And teaches people how to be independent, how to reclaim their power so that they don't have to rely on things outside of them. Yeah. And so with that being said, everything that you see in my life and my business, all the success you see in my life now, it was not easy. It was mentally and emotionally hard.
Yeah.
It was hard. Yeah. And now my life looks so easy and flowy and seamless. And yes, majority of my life is, but when I am up leveling, which happens every single day, because that's what us growth minded people do. We're like, what worked, what didn't, reflect, grow, dive into our emotions, strategy, all the things. And it looks easy, but there's always days. There's always days. But what I've learned is that my emotions are my superpower. And when I dissect them and listen to them and honor them, I'm able to then rise above them because they're not me. I feel them, I process them, I rise above them, so I heal them, and then those blockages are gone in my body.
Yeah.
And now it happens like this.
Right.
When I used to take weeks to recover from challenges.
Yeah. I love that because I think it really helps pull back the curtain on what life is really like or what it had been like. And because I see you now as someone who is so in her purpose, I'm curious, do you think that your purpose is something that it's one big aha moment, or is it about pivots and something that you kind of discover over time? How did you realize that this is what you're here to do?
Yeah. So the question was, sorry, I was kind of getting a little distracted there. The question was, how did I discover my aha moment?
Was there a moment when you were like, this is what I'm supposed to do? Did you always know you were meant for this? How did you come to to living your purpose?
So how did I come to living my purpose was, trial and error, which again is like to the books when it comes to human design. It was trial and error. I didn't just, this wasn't my first idea. I had multiple other businesses that I launched before this.
Yeah.
Right. And I tried, I errored. I saw what I liked, what I didn't like, what felt right, what didn't feel right. And it brought me here. So it was really through trial and error.
Yeah. I completely agree. I feel like people are like, oh, I'm looking for my purpose. I'm like, it's not like one day someone's like, this is your purpose. It's been more of an ongoing experience for me as well.
And I also believe we discover, we discover our purpose through our growth, through our living, through our lived experiences.
Yes.
And so if you don't step out of your comfort zone, you're not going to discover your purpose. If you don't consistently step out of your comfort zone on a daily basis, you're not going to discover your purpose, because your purpose, I believe, is like this, like the sand at the bottom of an ocean. And then there's so much water above it. And in order to get there, you have to go deeper.
Yeah.
Because our purpose is in us. It's not outside of us. There's no astrologer or no zodiac sign that knows our purpose. Even in human design, it's not like, oh, your purpose is to help others through TikTok. Like, no. It's something that you decide that this feels right. This is my purpose. I feel it. I got the calling from God, source, spirit, but I felt it first, and then it was confirmed.
Yeah. Right.
That's what I believe is how you discover your purpose. One way. It goes deeper, but Spark Notes. I'm trying to land a plane in this episode.
Got it. So, okay. You and I talk about this a lot. We talk all the time. You're certified in EFT, NLP, hypnosis, time techniques, life and success. But like, what really strikes me the most, because I've thought about this a lot. I've like analyzed, and like, I really am want to understand what makes you you. And I think one of the things is, it's not the certifications, it's like how you embody this work. And we've been talking about this a lot lately. How have you learned to feel your emotions without being ruled by them? Like, how did you get to this level of embodiment where you are now? Was it the certifications? Like, how did this happen?
There's no certification that had me get to this place of embodiment. It was what I chose to do with my circumstances, with the opportunities that were placed in front of me. So see how in that I said that was me claiming my power. You want to be successful? Anyone listening to this? You claim but you don't give your power away to a certification. You don't give your power away to a man, to a mentor, to a business, to a dog. Okay, maybe I should take that back with a dog.
Maybe the dog, yeah.
Maybe you can give your power away to your dog. That's the only exception. Okay? I chose to dive deeper within. And so, I'm sorry, that again got a little sidetracked right there.
Well, you're like very qualified and you have all these certifications, but one of the things I think that makes you you is how embodied you are in the work.
Okay.
And how good you are at feeling the emotions without being overcome by them. And I'm curious. So you're saying there wasn't a certification that taught you how to do this.
Okay, that was the question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was doing the deep inner work. It was doing the reflecting, doing the emotional mastery, doing the subconscious reprogramming, but it all really stemmed from allowing myself to be seen, to be vulnerable, to be held, to be supported. My deep transformation started from going to a retreat.
Yeah.
I went to a transformative retreat and it was healing.
Yeah.
When I healed myself, I was then able to be a rock star in my business. When I healed myself, I was able to make massive amounts of wealth. When I healed myself, I was able to attract relationships that I didn't even knew existed. I had one friend who drove to my house when she was busy just to drop me off soup. Growing up, my friends weren't that nice.
Right.
My friends now are so supportive, and it's because I dove deeper into myself to see who I truly am, what I truly want.
Yeah. Yeah. So it sounds like the certifications kind of gave you the tools, but you really created your own roadmap by figuring out like what things you needed to know about, probably by a lot of uncomfortable things that you were like, okay, like there's something coming up here. How do I use these tools that I've been given to move through it without being overcome by it?
Yes. And I definitely want to clarify, I don't shit on certifications. I think they're amazing. My business is where it is today because I had the support from the certifications. But one of the biggest patterns, as you know, I'm a pattern ninja. One of the biggest patterns that I noticed with the certification that I went and got and the masters that I got, because I've seen like lots of women go through it, because not only did I go through it, but then the woman who was the CEO, she hired me to work the certification, the retreats, because she saw how profound my experience was.
Yeah.
And so I started seeing these patterns of these women who would go get certifications, coaching certifications, all the things. And the biggest disconnect that I saw from the women who were successful with it and the ones who were not is the ones who were not, they weren't fully embodied in this work. They have a beautiful heart and they want to help people, and it's so beautiful, but they're not using the techniques on themselves. They haven't gotten to this space of true deep we're not ever fully healed. No one's ever fully healed. If someone ever tells you I'm fully healed, they're lying. Run from them.
Run away.
Run away. No one's ever fully healed. And just when you think you are, there's another level. And I noticed that they weren't doing the inner work themselves, but they wanted to coach other women to do the inner work. That's like going to a steakhouse and your server is a vegan.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. Steakhouses, you never see vegans working there because that's a disconnect.
And they're like, get the New York strip medium rare. It's so good. Oh, by the way, never had it.
Yeah. That's literally what I was talking to my client took me out to dinner last night.
Yeah.
And I was like, have you ever gone to a steakhouse and like asked the guy, the waiter, how's this steak? And they're like, oh, like I'm vegan, but I heard it's really good. Do you ever take their advice?
No, never. When they say that, I'm like, what are you doing here? I don't even understand.
Versus if they were like, oh my gosh, it's so good. I just had it yesterday. Oh, that's embodied versus, oh, I've never tried it, but I heard it was good.
I heard it was good.
If you're a coach and a mentor, you best believe you better be using the practices and the teachings that you're teaching in your life, or else there's a disconnect. There's no embodiment. That's also like going to school to become a lawyer and learning from a doctor. That doesn't happen.
No. I can completely agree because I got certified in the same program you were in. I didn't go to master's level, but it was like I was so hungry for knowledge. I really, really wanted to help people, but I like even very like a couple years before that, I couldn't even help myself. Like nobody was coming to me for advice and I wanted them to so badly. So like, what if I get certified and then everybody's going to come to me for all their problems? And that's just not how it went. And I think one of the beautiful things about being a leader and a business owner is that we get to go first. And a lot of times that means it's hard. It's painful.
And the woman that I was at dinner last night, she also took the certification as well. And, what I was saying to her was, oh man, it just came in and it went out. I'm sorry. It literally came in and it went out.
It'll come back to you. I went and got certified because I felt like that's what was.
Oh yeah, confidence. So I was like, yeah, the certification is great because it can bring you another layer of confidence, right?
Yeah.
Imagine wanting to be a doctor, but not having the degree and going to apply for the job versus having the degree and then going to apply. Your confidence level is different.
Yeah.
So the certifications are great for two things. Well, for many things, but two things that most people don't talk about. Number one, it gives you more of an authority, right? So you get a certification and you now have this authority, right? Oh, she's legit because she studied this.
Yeah.
I want to learn from her because she studied it. Also, she's embodied it. Then I really want to learn from her.
Right.
But then the second aspect is the consumer. So for example, when my clients hear that I'm a 7-time credentialed coach, I'm a master NLP, EFT, time techniques practitioner, it gives them, their logical mind,
That's true.
their analytical mind, another layer of truth because this is real. Oh, she has a technique. Oh, she has a tool she's a practitioner. Oh, that must mean this is real.
Yeah.
Because you could do all of this healing work without any of the things.
True. That's true.
And, when we were put on this planet, there wasn't just like, oh, a doctor is a doctor. No, they created that title. They created the title of all of these things. So
y'all see what I'm saying? Pattern recognizing here. You can see what I'm talking about when Jess is talking. I feel like it's also such a fifth line thing because you're here to give people like step-by-step solutions and that's address the analytical and logical side of it because now they know there's a process, there's a step-by-step thing, and it does really alleviate that. I've heard Hormozy say people buy based on emotions and back it up with logic. So I love that.
That's so good. People buy based off of emotion, but back it up by logic. And I think that's why
you don't want them to buy it and then the next day they're like really freaked out about it. But by having the certification or having the logic, now they're like, oh no, she's legit. Like, this is what I want to do.
And it's interesting because one of my mentors that I attracted into my energy field, she's a lawyer and she was very, very analytical. Yeah. And so her process was like, I needed to learn the science behind the things first, and then I could get back behind it. And it was very interesting because that's how I was. I studied the science of manifestation first because I'm like, hold up. This feels right, but is it too good to be true? Because that's how I used to operate.
Right.
Oh, it must be too good to be true. So I looked up the science. I'm like, oh, because you have to bypass the conscious mind.
Right.
It's always there to protect you, to guide you, to keep you safe. And so, yeah.
So to follow that, I think that's really good, Lane. What do you say to the people? Okay, there's this whole thing about like toxic positivity and people just want to feel good all day. So like, what do you have to say to those people who want to bypass their emotions because they want to stay positive?
Don't let them. I need to write a book that says, don't let them. Sorry, I just had to say that. Jumping on the let them train, right? The let them theory.
Right.
You know the phrase out of sight, out of mind?
Yeah.
That's a lie. Because it's out of sight, but you know it never forgets?
Your subconscious.
Yeah. Your system never forgets. Forgive, but I'll never forget. Of course you won't forget.
Right. You literally
of course you won't.
You tried.
You couldn't if you tried. Unless you've healed it and made amends to it and let it go.
Right.
But out of sight, out of mind doesn't work. So, I'm just going to ignore that I feel upset right now and keep pushing. I'm sorry. I'm not a Layla Hormozy. Layla Hormozy, I heard it in one of her, maybe she's different now, but I heard it in one of her podcasts. Work hard, ignore your emotions. Last time I did that, I was waking up at 4 a.m. and going to bed at 11.
Right.
Sure, I was making money, but I was working hard and I was drained. And that doesn't work for me because I like to work less and make more impact and make more money.
Hell yeah.
I'm just a girl.
I'm just a girl, you know? It's true. We need the logic and the emotion. And I feel like the emotion has been so glossed over, and it's always like guiding us forward in the right direction. But you always say this thing that I always remember is you got to feel it to heal it. And in that same vein, okay, so is there an emotional practice that you love that you come back to like again and again that really like has helped you stay grounded and really works for you?
Oh, there's so many. There's so many. And the number one practice that I would say is something that allows me to feel it and move through it. So sometimes that looks like EFT tapping. Sometimes that looks like being in a deep journaling practice and journaling on it and looking at why I got triggered, what worked, what didn't work. What am I learning from this? What am I doing that's not serving me in this? So there's so many different tools and techniques, you know, inside of it, but it's finding something for yourself that allows you to feel it. And for me, what's been really supportive is good old pen and paper.
Yeah.
Because it gets to be easy. It doesn't have to be complicated. Right. Yes, there are many other things.
Yeah.
It's not one and done. It's a continued practice.
Yeah.
But when in doubt, go back to the basics.
Go back to the basics. I've heard that like people need to be reminded more than they need to be told. It's like all the answers are inside. And I think a lot of us are afraid to take the pen to paper or really journal and get it out because we're terrified of what'll happen if I actually feel this. But it's almost always been the case for me that the fear, the anxiety, the doubt, it's always bigger in your head. Once it's out on paper, it's like, oh, okay, like I'm going to be okay.
It's like, there's never any evidence of fear and there's never any evidence of faith. So why not pick faith?
Right. It's like the Albert Einstein quote, like the biggest decision you have to make is whether we live in a friendly or unfriendly universe. You just have to decide.
Yeah, you just have to decide.
Okay, so as we've discussed, you are my pattern recognizing ninja. You've got this like gift. I don't know how you do it. Honestly, I don't know, but I've been trying to figure it out for a while. But you see something, you spot something, you notice a gap, you see something someone else is doing, and then you're able to funnel that almost immediately into content that actually lands. So when it comes to the coaching space right now, what do you feel that most coaches and healers are missing when it comes to their content?
Okay. When it comes to their content, they're missing being authentic and being real and having fun with it. That's what people are missing when it comes to creating content. They think that they have to do what everyone else is doing because it worked for them, and then they're not being authentic. Authenticity is the highest form of abundance. Authenticity attracts abundance, no matter what job you're in.
It doesn't matter. No, okay, and you and I were talking about this too recently. When you go to create a piece of content, are you starting from your own inspiration or what you hear your audience asking for?
So I have done both.
Yeah.
And what typically always does better is what I'm inspired on doing. Because again, it's coming to me for a reason. Yeah. Whether you believe it's God, source, spirit, universe, bringing it to you for a reason. Now, I have also created content because I've seen that this is what people need.
Yeah. It's both.
Yeah. And sometimes they're not asking for it, which goes against every single bro marketing tip that you'll hear on the internet.
It's true.
People aren't asking for it and I'm delivering. But it's something they know they need at a deep subconscious level.
Right. Because
I'm not here to do the superficial. Oh, you think you need affirmations? Here's a list of 50 affirmations. Oh, you think you need to know the best editing tool? No, bitch. You need to learn how to connect with your intuition.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need to learn how to feel deeply, because it's not that there's no clients out there. It's that you have a fear of hate comments. Not everyone, but I recently met someone. We went deep, right? We sat down. She thought she was going to get a whole strategy session on like business 101. And yes, she left with a great strategy session, but we reverse engineered, sorry, one second. I have to get off TT. Sorry. Let me just do that real quick. People think you need the best strategy session. And yes, because you need strategy 1,000,000%. But the thing that was stopping her from truly showing up on social media was she had a fear of hate comments because she was bullied when she was younger. So she wasn't showing up to her fullest.
Wow.
So what's really beneath the surface? Because that's what we get to look at. Because if you want to go far, you got to dig deep.
You got to go deep. Just like building a house. Do you feel like that's the biggest thing that holds people back when it comes to creating content authentically?
Yes, because it involves you to feel your emotions, and this world has taught us to not do that. Yeah. And so that's scary. That's being vulnerable. And the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between someone being scared to post and someone chasing you with a gun.
Yeah.
Or a bear chasing you. It doesn't know the difference. So it's scary to feel your emotions and to feel vulnerable. It's scary, and that's the strongest thing you could do.
Strongest thing. I go back to this all the time that, I mean, I outed myself on the internet as a former heroin addict, and I was so terrified to do it. Like, you have no idea. I mean, you have some idea, I'm sure. But what's been so crazy about it, it's been years and years since I have, like, you know, done this. Never had a single hate comment. Like, the belief in my mind of what was going to happen when I shared this was 100% different from what actually happened. And now at this point, if somebody had something to say about it, like, it wouldn't even faze me. Like, there's other things I could open up about that might faze me more. Like, I've shared about this for so long. It's not one of them, but I feel like we build it up in our minds so much how other people are just obsessed with what we're doing. And anybody who has time to like dive into your content and criticize you and bully you is not somebody who matters anyways.
Yeah, the factual matter is of those who hate you and bully you, they're getting triggered by you and they have a wound that's unresolved. And so it's never personal.
Never.
It's never personal.
You have a bigger audience than I do, like much bigger. So have you had to deal with any of this online? Has this been a thing?
Yeah, not a lot.
Yeah.
But recently, a couple months ago, I had this guy make a video because I made a video that I don't believe in 50-50 in relationships. And he was so triggered and he was hurt.
Yeah.
And I see it. I see he has a really deep masculine and feminine wound that is unresolved. And his ego got really hurt.
I remember that. Do you remember that Shelby Sapp post I think you had sent me? And she was exposing her haters and the guys who always have something to say.
They are either married or they're butt ugly or they're broke.
Living in their mom's basement. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we care?
Yeah.
We don't fucking care.
It's like, why are we going to let other people stop us from living our dreams?
And reaching the people that we need to reach. Like, your people out there.
Because you do yourself a disservice, and then you end up doing others a disservice from not doing it.
So would you say, like, the biggest thing that people are overlooking if they want to create content that converts, it's the authenticity, vulnerability?
I feel that 100%. I think that's number one. Yeah. Because you see these people go viral and they have put no effort. None. They don't even have captions on their, like, they're in bed with half their eyeliner on.
Yeah.
They don't have an audience. They are not niched down, but they're being authentic.
Right.
They're being authentic. And then imagine if you put systems behind that.
Right.
So that the feminine, the authentic, the feminine is true emotional, authentic, flowing. If you put the systems, which is the masculine support, behind the feminine flow, imagine how much further you could go. Oh, that rhymes. Because a man can only go so far until he has his queen by her side.
Right.
And a queen, I didn't mean to do that. A queen can only go so far.
Yeah.
Until she has a king by her side.
That's it.
Because two holes make an infinity symbol.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, most people say it a different way.
Yeah.
2 holes make an infinity symbol.
Yeah.
2 halves make a whole.
Yeah.
So,
how do you feel about ChatGPT when it comes to content?
Yeah, I have a really strong opinion on that because, you know, it's new for all of us. No, at the end of the day, no one knows how to really use ChatGPT because it's so new. Yeah, some of us have become experts in it. So, okay, you know how to use it, but like, no one even, why are we like, no one even knows why we're here if we want to go that route, but we're gonna stay above the woo right now. So how do I feel about ChatGPT? I think it's amazing. I love it so much.
Yeah.
I use it as like the masculine support in my business to like help my chaotic brain like put things together. But what I don't like about myself with ChatGPT is using it and abusing it for everything.
Everything.
And depending on a robot to help me feel my emotions.
Because it can only come up with things that have already been created. So like you can't outsource your creativity. First of all, you can't outsource something that you don't already know how to do because then you're just going to outsource it's going to come out so bad. But like secondly, it can't replace your creativity. It's like about using it in ways that make you more efficient, smarter, not harder, not just like outsourcing your entire brain and being like, here, make all my content. It just doesn't.
So when you think about the word creativity, the first part of it is creative.
Yeah.
Create, right? And what do humans do?
Create.
What do robots do?
Clone.
And what do you believe has more power, creativity or cloning?
I mean, for sure. And it's just always strikes me that my posts that do go viral are the ones you don't care about. It's always the ones that you didn't see popping off or you almost didn't post.
The least amount of effort. The law of least effort.
That in yours as well. Like, have you seen that? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And I've seen it happen for both. Like I've seen it happen for both.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen for both when I'm strategic, but I'm also like flowing and just channeling and just letting the things come through. Okay. If I'm reading off of a script.
Right. No.
Yeah. Some of it might go viral, but it's not doing what I want it to do. It's not reaching the people I want to reach.
Okay. So before you put out a post, like, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how certain are you whether something is going to go viral? Like, do you feel like you can predict it now or like, what is it?
I can, but there are times where it doesn't go, but I'm like, oh, this will go so viral. Yeah. But sometimes it doesn't, but a lot of the times it does.
She's got this down to science, guys. I'm telling you.
It's really cool. It's really cool. And I'm not on TikTok, like just scrolling away all day. I do scroll and do my research, but I don't do that. That's too much for me.
Yeah. Okay. So I know that you've been in this very like reflective, almost like zoomed out space lately on your business, like getting really clear on what's next. What are you feeling? Could you give us a glimpse of where we are headed or at least like, what is like the impact you want your next projects to have?
7 figures.
Okay.
7 figures in impact and income.
Okay.
So I see a video popping off with my first M. My first M, baby.
Yeah.
my first M.
Yeah.
Maybe that's on YouTube. Maybe that's on Instagram. Maybe that's on TikTok. But a true M, and my true M is for million.
Yeah.
And my true M is that it really reached them. It was really impactful. It was really meaningful. I work for, I attract millions that are meaningful.
Meaningful millions.
Meaningful millions. But yeah, so my next step in my business is to hit 7 figures and to reach millions of impact and income. I am just really feeling the call to like really emphasize this strategic emotions. So like being strategically emotional, when it comes to creating manifestation, mindset, all the things. And so I have a masterclass that's coming out. I have one of my signature programs that's coming out. I have been feeling the call to create some more core signature programs when it comes to showing up on social media, because that's what everyone comes to me for. And yes, I get to teach some strategy, but it's all energetics.
Right.
And so, yeah, I'm just here to see I really speak with women. I do coach some men, but my target audience is women. And so my purpose here is, I believe men really learn best from men and women learn best from women when it comes to like doing like deeper work. But then we also learn from men in like different areas, different ways. I love men, but so, my goal is to help, support, and see other women win, because I know what it's like to not feel like you could, to not feel like it's possible. And it's just crazy that I'm like, oh shit, I did it. And I'm only at the beginning. Like, yeah.
I will say, when you started telling me about going into the emotional program, I was a bit surprised given what I had seen you do before, but the more we've talked about it and I've heard from you on this of like the importance of it, it makes perfect sense. Has anything surprised, like, is this where you saw yourself heading, I don't know, like let's say a year ago, or is this a newer development? How did
This is newer.
Yeah.
This is newer because I saw a pattern.
Yeah.
And I saw a pattern that the people who because I started by teaching manifestation, not started.
Yeah.
That was like one of the bigger ways how I started my business. Like there was always things before that.
Yeah.
But the big part of my business, why I started, was manifestation, because I'm obsessed with it and I'm really fucking good at it. But I started teaching it from a place of like where I'm at now. And I started attracting people who are at where I'm at now, and they were also at where I was in the beginning. And I assumed that everyone had this, like, they know, like they've healed themselves.
Yeah.
I just assumed that they already went through that. And so I noticed, there's a bajillion manifestation teachers. And they're all teaching the same thing. They're all slapping the same food on the plate in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
And none of the kids are really getting the results that they want. And so I noticed I went inside with me and my top clients. And usually those are the ones I work with one-on-one. And I'm like, what is the difference? Why are these people getting massive results? And these people, they're getting results, but they're crumbs compared to what my one-on-one clients are getting. It's because they are going through the emotional self-mastery work.
Yeah.
You can't rewire your subconscious mind unless you've learned how to master your emotions, because the emotions are going to win every time.
Right. No, that it makes perfect sense. So, okay, given everything that we've discussed, I'm curious if you could go back and give Jess 5 years ago, knowing what you know now, what would you tell her?
Oh my gosh. I would tell her, what's coming up for me is to not overthink it. If you want to do it, just do it. There's no rules in life. Just because you started with one thing doesn't mean you can't pivot. Like, if it doesn't excite you, don't do it. Life is way too fucking short to not enjoy as much as you can of it. We're so programmed that we have to be miserable.
Right.
Oh my gosh. I walked away from those people, those family members, those old clients right away. So that's what I would tell her.
That's so good. I felt that. I'm telling that to Amanda 5 years ago.
Yeah, I just remember me in my 9 to 5 years ago. And the biggest fear right now, so 2025, this was like in the middle of the pandemic, right, 5 years ago. And I was like, I want to get out of here. I was working in the hospitals and my thing was, oh, move to Miami, quit, do this, pursue this. And I thought it was just like illegal to think that, to do that. I felt so guilty.
Yeah.
So wow. That's what I would share with her.
Don't overthink it. Do it. Listen to your body, listen to your intuition, follow your excitement.
Yeah. And not many people know how to truly listen to their body because we've been so disconnected from it our whole life. Yeah. So in that case, for those of you who don't know, like truly how to do what excites you, even if it's not going to make sense. No. That's what you need to listen in right now. Do what makes you excited, happy, but just remember, it's not going to make full logical sense at all.
One of the biggest things I'm getting now from this interview, from what we've discussed, is like, it's listening to your emotions, following your emotions, doing the thing that's exciting, but probably scary. And that you did that. And then you also had the certifications, the research, the science to back it up. And you've just, I don't know, I see you now. It's like you've really married these two things, like the masculine and the feminine, having like the credentials and the embodiment, which I do think really does come down to the feelings, because it's scary. It's scary to feel those things, but it's always worse. It's always worse in your mind, I guess. It's true.
Yeah. And thank you for that. Thank you for seeing that. I feel that. And all of us on this planet have a masculine force in us and have a feminine force in us. A lot of us have one or the other turned on a little higher. So if we can kind of get them to be vibrating together, then they get to dance together and then life is whole. They get to dance. I love that. Okay.
Yeah. So how, for everybody listening to this, where do we go to find out more? Can you tell us about your upcoming program and how to find out?
Yeah. So my upcoming program, to join that, I would take over to my Instagram. It's at jessica.tellian, or go to my website or my podcast, www.astrongeryou.com. My podcast is also called A Stronger You. And I have all the links in the descriptions and the bios. And yeah, everything is usually presented quickly in my bios on TikTok, Instagram, and all the things. Also on YouTube. So that's where you can find it.
Do you have anything you can tell us about your new Booked and Bougie program?
Yeah. So my new Booked and Bougie experience that is live and that is free on September 2nd, so Tuesday at 7 p.m. EST. I'm going to teach you how to become strategically emotional so that you can manifest your bougie dreams. Isn't that so good?
So good. I fucking love it.
I know. I love it too. And like, we all deserve to be bougie. We all deserve to want bougie, and fuck what any person in your life